Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 33 of the Magic Castles podcast, a Magic the Gathering podcast. I am Tom, aka Everything with an X, and this is Adam, aka Adam GCB. How are you, Adam?
Hello, I'm okay. I think, you know what, we're in interesting Magic times right now, right? It's Edge of Fraternity's preview today.
I think they've just started.
Oh, they just started? So, no, yeah.
Like an hour ago.
We're recording late on a Tuesday. And then Sonic stuff's dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Retailers are breaking all sorts of NDAs with future universes beyond sets, which is great.
Yep.
So I think it's interesting time. It feels weird, like having not really engaged with Final Fantasy. It feels like quite nice at the moment. Like I think people need to get used to, and actually should embrace, not every set being for them, and just feel free to like take a step back and let it breathe a little bit. Like,
I am quite jealous of you being able to do that, because
it's quite nice. Like everyone's like Avatar, and I'm like, sick, great. I'd have to engage with this, or like the Star Trek stuff. I'm like, cool. That's a full set I don't have to engage with. I know I'm going to be insufferable when Spider-Man comes up, but that's fine. Yeah. But like, yeah. Otherwise, it's quite nice just being like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm glad I can skip Avatar at least. So give me a break over Christmas.
How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah. Final Fantasy, still good. Finished another Final Fantasy deck. I did Mog. Not played half as much as I would like to, so hopefully get some spell table in soon. But yeah, looking forward to Edge of Eternities. What I've seen of the reveals today look really good and really exciting and really interesting. I think it's going to be a good set. I've got hope, got high hope. But,
yeah, we'll do some sort of thoughts episode once there's more, like literally like 4 cards been spoiled. Some article went live early today, and then everyone was doing moral panic about leaks of previews, which I won't get on my soapbox about now. But yeah, we'll probably do something Edge of Eternities related when there's more out. Right now, I actually, from what I've seen so far, this feels like the most universes beyond Magic set I think I've ever seen. Like, it just feels like, and that's fine, it's good. I don't mind, but it just doesn't feel like, I think it's the spacecraft frame is throwing me.
It's real universes beyond looking.
Yeah, it's giving me like, oh, that's like, what am I looking at here? But yeah, we'll do another pod episode down the line, more focus on that. And I think today we're going to get into some of the other stuff that was spoiled. But first, please like and subscribe.
Yep.
Really helps us out. We have been trucking along with decent watch time and decent subscribers, so please continue the momentum. And whilst you're here, I'm allowing you to pause the episode right now. You can go follow us on TikTok. That'd be incredibly helpful. We are Magic Castles on TikTok.
Yep.
So we did a name change a little while ago. Anyway, so thank you. Very, very, very good. All things trucking along. You're probably thinking, wait, didn't gameplay episode 4 come out a month ago? And you're like, yes, but we took a week off the podcast, so everything, our schedule's a bit fucked up. So gameplay episode 4 is out now.
Yep.
And then gameplay episode 5 will be out in theory next Thursday. So basically we had that break, and then we've kind of had to shift things alongside. So that's why there's not been an inundation of videos on the channel. We are also looking to get a off-topic chatting video. It's not really off-topic. It's probably actually more on topic than most. Video out as soon as we can. Now, here's the issue. I'm going to be very candid right now. I lost access to Adobe Suite, which means Tom. The nice thing about being in a corpo job is they gave me access to a thing called Adobe Suite, which allowed me to do things. I am now a jobless hack, and Adobe's very expensive. So, and I'm trying to learn GIMP. It's not very intuitive.
It's not.
It's just like you click one thing and then 8 things change, and you're like, "What happened there?" I am broke, having no job, I have become a Canva girly and an Adobe Express girly, but those aren't very great for the things that we need them for, which is usually just like deep fried thumbnails where I'm taking things and changing, like manipulating them in weird ways. So the reason why initially there was a lot of stuff coming out and now that's kind of slowed down was I didn't have a job, but I still had access to Adobe Suite. Which I don't anymore. So we're going to try and sort something out, because right now I'm trying to do what I can, and Tom's having to do a lot of the lift, which I'm forever thankful for. So like the first off-topic edit was basically done majority by me in terms of the timeline, but I can't do that right now because Tom uses Adobe because he has a subscription to it. So I'd have to use like DaVinci, and it's like passing around different. It's just a fucking mess. So
yeah,
we're gonna try and work something out. But anyway,
yeah, there will be stuff going on.
Yeah, you can help that by following us and supporting the channel. That'd be really, really helpful.
Yes,
awesome.
Do that.
Sonic Secret Lairs. Let's talk about them.
My dream came true.
Yeah, this happened fairly out of the blue, actually. So
blue like Sonic.
Sonic, the blue bolt, blue. Right?
Blue blur.
Blue blur, yeah. I know. I'm not a Sega brand person, leave me alone. Right, so this dropped last week, a week before? Just very suddenly.
Yeah, about a week and a half ago.
Yeah, so there is a Sonic Secret Lair. People, this has been historically true. Marketing people cannot write copy for Sonic the Hedgehog without sounding like they're talking to 10-year-olds. So I'm not going to read this because it's patronizing and also just like, it's just weird. Like, it just feels like they don't understand that the Sonic fan base is a legacy fan base and ages from like 30 to 5. So we're not going to get into all that marketing spiel. There is 3 Secret Lairs. So there is Secret Lair Sonic Friends and Foes. This is the kind of the mechanically unique character cards. So there's Knuckles the Echidna, Amy Rose, Dr. Eggman, Tails, Shadow, and obviously Sonic. These are really cool. All the Team Sonic characters kind of play into each other, which is quite nice. They all care about Flash haste, apart from Tails, who just has Flash. And then Robotnik feels like a rejected Doctor Who card. Sorry, Dr. Eggman.
I do like that they've brought in that villainous choice.
Yeah.
Brought that back.
So I'll read Sonic and then read some of the others. So Sonic is a 2/4 legendary creature hedgehog warrior for 1 blue, red, and a white. Has haste. Also has gotta go fast. Whenever Sonic the Hedgehog attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with flash or haste. And then whenever a creature you control with flash or haste is dealt damage, create a tapped treasure token. So you lose your rings. Very cute. Very fun.
Good. So good.
And then Dr. Eggman is a 3/6 legendary creature human scientist for 2 blue, black, and red. Has flying. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. Then each opponent faces a villainous choice. That player discards a card, or you may put a construct, robot, or vehicle card from your hand onto the battlefield. So each player's going to discard a card. And then the other one that's kind of got everyone talking, which is the base of our next off-topic video, which we build Shadow the Hedgehog, who is a 4/2 legendary creature hedgehog mercenary for black, black, red, red. Has haste. Whenever Shadow or another creature you control with flash or haste dies, you draw a card. And has chaos control. Each spell you cast has split second if mana from an artifact was spent to cast it. Which is really interesting. Split second is not... It's not a mechanic they throw around a lot anymore. So interesting to like kind of put the power there on Shadow. So that's the kind of highlights from this. Knuckles the Echidna is just Facebreaker 2.0. Busted. And then Amy Rose is just Boris equipment things, which is quite sad.
She's got a hammer though. I guess that's where it's coming
from.
Yeah,
she might find her way in Captain America. Actually, I'm looking at that going, well, maybe, but we'll work out.
It's also worth noting that this is one of those secret lairs that's coming to stores as well as the non-foil.
Yes,
which I only found out the other day, which is quite cool. So, like the Deadpool one, it's going to be available.
Yes,
in non-foil.
Yeah,
UPS.
My only it's a very, very low gripe with this set is I wish they used one artist, just because like at least I wish they used one artist for like the Team Sonic characters and then whatever you want with Shadow and Dr. Eggman, but like the art kind of being different flavors across that, you know, cards are going to go into the same deck, and the dream is to have all of them out at once, and then them just being slightly off tone with each other it just really not irks me. It's just like, it just doesn't feel great. I will say like but all the art for each of the individual cards is very strong and very good. It's more just a consistency point of view for me. The next Sonic Secret Lair is Turbo Gear, which is kind of the artifact equipment set. So in this you have the Reaver Cleaver as Knuckles gloves, Swift Boot Boots as Shadow's air shoes, Mere Battlesphere as Egg Hammer, which is an interesting one, Hammer of Nazan as Pico Hammer, and then Lightning Greaves as Power Sneakers. So these are just reskins. Need to find. It is weird that just some of them are feet.
Is that the one that comes with the ring bonus? Oh no, wait, there's more.
No, this one comes with the weather light.
Yeah,
sorry. Forgot to scroll down. So Tornado Sonic's biplane is the weather light, and then there's a Mere token, which is Egg Pawn.
Yeah, for the
which is really cool. I do think they just snuck the Weatherlight in here to be like, oh wait, this has no value in it, so we need something.
And also it synergizes with Tails.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of synergy between all these secret lairs. Like they all do kind of work together, which is quite cool.
And then Secret Lair Sonic Chasing Adventures. This is the kind of just traditional spells package. So you got Generous Gift, Open the Armory, Fabricate, Deadly Dispute, and Unexpected Windfall, and then probably like one of the best Soul Ring arts we've ever seen.
So cool.
Really, really cool. And then a Golden Ring as a treasure.
I will say the Generous Gift is genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're destroying some of them, then there's an elephant because the little creatures that come out of the monsters when you break them in the game.
It's really cool.
Yeah, brilliant.
So these are out next week.
Yeah, Monday, I think.
July 14th, which is really sick. Now,
I panicked that it was yesterday.
Yeah, I what I end up doing sometimes is I'll just be like, the Monday of, I'll just be like scrolling, and I'll see someone post like, got mine. I'm like, shit. And then I'm just like running over. I do think these are going to be desired, but let's be honest, it's not Final Fantasy. This isn't a Cyclonic Rift. So I think like the Friends and Foes one with the characters will probably have a danger of selling out. Maybe. But the others I don't think are. I think the value's there. It depends how many people want Sonic's biplane. Right. So interesting, really cool, fun surprise one out of nowhere.
Although,
I was like,
was
wait,
there not some license thing with the SpongeBob thing? Is it there's some kind of link between I know that SpongeBob's in the Sonic racing game.
The SpongeBob one was rumored because of the Ultimate Guard accessories leaked before.
I'm sure there's some connection between the SpongeBob one and the Sonic one, and maybe it's just the Nickelodeon thing.
Is it Paramount?
Maybe, but people are speculating that there's going to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one next.
I mean, that makes sense.
There's another franchise that's in Sonic Crossworlds.
Sonic, at least the movie rights are with Paramount.
Okay. I can't remember what the other one was. There was another franchise that's on Nick that is in the Sonic racing game, and people were speculating that it's going to be that and Turtles next.
Turtles and SpongeBob licenses are dirt cheap and get thrown around anywhere. What's that Sonic racing game called?
Crossworlds, the new one. That's what I was saying. Because Turtles are in that. SpongeBob's in that.
Yeah.
I think Avatar's in that. I can't remember what the
I would also say like Paramount controls all of the Nickelodeon licenses, and they have no respect for them. They will throw them. They will throw them wherever they need be. I
wouldn't hate a mechanically unique set of Turtles commanders. That would be.
I could see Turtles being one. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It currently says on here it's SpongeBob, Turtles, Avatar, and Minecraft. Those are the ones that have been spoiled so far.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Interesting.
I could see Turtles. The Turtle licenses are getting thrown around like it's worth nothing anyway. So, but anyway, those are new commanders. What I wanted to do quickly was, whilst it was somewhat quieter, is kind of bring up what are older commanders we're thinking of building or looking at or have our interest and why. I've got 5. I don't know how many you've got or put aside.
I've dug out 4.
Okay. I think we'll whip through them quickly just for the sake of time.
Yeah.
We're not going to do like full builds, obviously. But I think we'll just say like why, what's drawing these particular commanders to us, kind of like, is there anything interesting? Does it feel a gap in what we have right now? So I am going to bring up mine now. Starting with a hitter.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Your favourite card?
It is. So yeah, Micaeus the Unhallowed, I think, is my favourite card. And I currently don't have a commander deck for it. I would say between my favourite cards, it's either Micaeus the Unhallowed or Xenagos the Reveler, the Planeswalker. Just because that one I have actual constructed play history with. It was a thing that during the time that it was standard legal, I was always drawn to it as a mid-range stompy player. And it was always just this card that seemed particularly strong and you know, was always calling to me like a Green Goblin mask. Micaeus, I think, thematically is one of my favorite cards ever made. Just from the narrative aspect of the one symbol of hope in original Innistrad, being Micaeus the Lunarch, being turned into a zombie and the thing they're fighting against. And then I think you have to remember this was a time where it wasn't like no legendary creatures were being printed, but I think like the entire Innistrad block has like less than 30 legendaries been printed. I need to look at that now so I don't look like a massive idiot. But like the entire, like back then, before kind of the commercialization of Commander, legendary creatures just weren't being printed like at that pace. Okay, the entire original Innistrad block has 11 legendary creatures. That's across three sets.
Wow.
So when legendary creatures were made, they were a big deal, and they weren't kind of just like vaporware like some of them can be now. So I think this is more of just a historical relevance to me, and kind of wanting to have a place for my favorite card. I know this card is like kill player on site, right? Like, so I think how do we build mono black just pile, which I think it will end up just being like with decent ETB effects, but nothing too busted. But I'm aware this card just like goes infinite and has weird death loops without like you even trying a lot of the time. So you gotta be careful. The other one one of the other ones I'm looking at and have been looking at basically since it was shown was Toynos, the Toy Maker.
Yeah, I've dabbled with this one in the past.
Yeah, this is like reverse Volo, which is why I like it. So it's 3 green and a blue for a legendary creature, human artificer. So it's a 3/5. Whenever you cast a beast or bird creature spell, you may copy it, except the copy is an artifact in addition to its other types. So it's kind of just doubling up all the goodness of your beast and birds. And I think like it's just something that I've always been like umming and ahhing about, because Volo is so restrictive in that like you don't want to double up on those types, original Simic Volo, not the weird blue notepad one. And then this pushes you into, it's restrictive, but in a completely different way. The thing that is killing it for me slightly is the fact that it's 5. But I think there's some interesting stuff there.
You're in green at least, so it's not like,
I'm in green. Yeah, you should get there quick.
Yeah.
Another one I'm looking at is from Assassin's Creed, which again I think is one of these sets I just keep looking at like, Jesus Christ, I think it's packed with just nuts, and everyone's just moved on and ignored it. So Javi the Allfather is a 6/6 legendary creature god warrior for 3 red, green, and white. Javi has indestructible as long as there are 4 or more historic cards in your graveyard, and has Sage Project. Whenever Javi or another legendary creature you control dies, return target legendary creature card with lesser mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So it's kind of like this weird like reverse birthing pod graveyard effect where you're kind of ticking down. And then I think there are interesting ways of recurring the big stuff out of the graveyard and then starting that process again. But this is just something that I don't think another Naya card has done. Like, I've been looking around for something like this and not really seen anything. The top line is whatever. Like, you're just going to get incidental, indestructible.
Yeah.
But for me, the Sage Project ability is incredibly interesting in like... Okay, so you have to set up by filling your graveyard up with a bunch of creatures, which is not impossible in Naya. White doesn't do that, so you're relying on the green and red to kind of do that for you. If anything, the white's kind of annoying. And then what are the legendary creatures that we want to recur out? I think even though they come in tapped, the ability to kind of have a sack outlet and do that stuff at instant speed is interesting as well. So Javi is one I've been thinking about quite a lot. I just need to like pull the trigger on, really. Calamelin? I don't know.
I've never seen this in my life.
Calamelin? Disciple of Vorenus. This is from Commander 2015. Is a 3/3 legendary creature, giant soldier for 2 red and a white, has double strike and vigilance. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 5 or greater, you get an experience counter. Calamelin gets +1/+1 for each experience counter you have. This is just big Boros.
Yeah. Damn.
So this is kind of just like, I would push this into Big Boris, and then I probably wouldn't go like super Voltron heavy. I'd probably just go like big support Borisy stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think they're already a lightning rod for removal anyway. So why are you making that more attractive as a possibility and giving the person with removal more value? This is one I looked at and went, I don't think I've ever seen this across the table.
No, I never seen this before, ever.
And I think Big Boris is just fun. Like, what are the spells that really help it? Are there ways of protecting it after 5, or do you go for like, pillow fort strategies? Like, are you just going for damage double effects, which is probably the boring way of building it, but I think there are interesting ways of just making a giant lady a big. And I stayed on the Big Boris train with
it's a classic.
Fire Song and Sun Speaker. This is a card that I've always had in the back of my head. Like, I should just make this. So it's a 4/6 legendary creature, Minotaur Cleric, with red instant and sorcery spells you control have lifelink. Whenever a white instant or sorcery spell causes you to gain life, Fire Song and Sun Speaker deals 3 damage to target creature and player. It is 4 red and a white. This is pretty up there actually in terms of like popularity. I think it has fallen off in favor. Just because it's 6. Like,
6 mana, yeah. It is one I've looked at a bunch as well in the past.
So but I think there's just ways of it's getting out. So it's currently ranked 489 on EDH Rec. That's 3,883 decks. But I think like this is just something that like, some cards do similar stuff to this. But the way that you want to get people is having the multicolored red and white spells like a lightning helix that not only deals damage but also gains you life and triggers both. Yeah. So that's me. So I kind of got a mix of just like pure degeneracy with Micaeus and then weird, like, I don't think this even works even if I build it optimally with cards like Fire Song and Sun Speaker or the Giant Lady. What have you got?
Okay, I got some weird stuff and some not so weird stuff. So first of all, one I'm really considering.
I've been talking about this.
Considering this for a while. Henry Wu in Genesis. So he's black, green, blue, human scientist, 1/4. Henry Wu. I love this. Just refers to as Henry Wu. Henry Wu and other human creatures you control have exploit. So when a creature with exploit enters, you may sacrifice a creature. Whenever a creature you control exploits a non-human creature, draw a card. If the exploit creature has power 3 or greater, create a treasure token. So it's a really weird. It relies a lot on things like Rampage and Balos, the list I've thrown together anyway. So you've got like fodder to sack when your creatures come in. So it's a lot of non-creatures that make tokens. Non-creatures that make non-creature tokens rather, and then humans with ETBs or effects that just stick around on the board or death effects, and then just trying to get value out of that. It's pretty fun. The list I've thrown together as well, it's got some weird stuff in that I don't typically play. Obviously it's got a lot of the Simic, Adventure of Zendikar, the landfall stuff. But yeah, I don't think I've really got anything like this. It's kind of two themes of deck kind of competing with the humans and the non-humans.
You need to go wide because you need to maximize how many humans you're playing. So you need to go wide with cards like Adventure of Zendikar, because it doesn't care what it sacks as long as it's bigger than 3.
Yeah, it does have to be non-human as well. So
non-human tokens,
but there's plenty of that stuff. But yeah, this one, I actually opened a foil one as well in my LCI stuff. So because I opened so much LCI. But yeah, I also love that the card is just the back of him. It's great.
It's such a weird art. Yeah.
It's also really weird. He was in Jurassic Park, the original.
Yes, he's been in all of them.
He's just like in the background in the first one. Wow, okay, they brought him back.
He's in like the Park Sim games as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good. Out of everything, this is probably the one that's the most likely, because I've tested it a bunch and it's pretty fun. Moving on, some weird stuff. We've got Rasputin Dreamweaver from Legends. He's 4 white blue for a human wizard, 4/1. He enters with 7 dream counters on him. Remove a dream counter, add a colorless mana. Remove a dream counter, prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to Rasputin. At the beginning of your upkeep, if he started the turn untapped, put a dream counter on him, and he can't have more than 7 dream counters on him. So this is a Azorius Blink deck. So you basically keep blinking him to get unlimited colorless mana.
Okay.
It's another dumb combo deck because I love combos. He's very expensive, so I doubt it'll have them. But yeah, it's just one
I was like, it's 6 mana, not realizing it as 115 euro. Yeah, that's very expensive.
It's very fun. This is another one I've experimented with and played around. But I like looking at old Legends, and he's the one that's been standing out a lot just because he's so freaking weird. But again, it's another combo deck. There's a lot of colorless flicker effects. Like there's an Eldrazi that's colorless 2 exile creature and return to the battlefield. So you just basically get that out, and you just keep looping Rasputin to dumb combo deck. Yeah, I don't know. Also, I'm not going to splash that much out on him. I've got Shadow to build. Then, speaking of combos, Zabaz the Glimmer Wasp. It's 1 mana artifact insect 0/0. Modular 1, so he ends with a counter on him. If a modular triggered ability, you would put 1 or more +1 counters on a creature you control. That many +1, I'll put on it instead. Red, destroy target artifact you control. White, he gains flying until end of turn. So this is a modular Boros deck, which is weird.
That's cool. Yeah.
There's a few combos you can do, moving the counters around. It's quite fun as well because the counters just bounce between all your creatures, and then he gets huge and swings in with flying. It's artifacts, but you've got some color to back it up, which is nice because there's so many artifact commanders I would build if they had a color identity. The lack of color identity puts me off a lot of them. But yeah, this one maybe. I've got a few lists I've been toying around with. Nice. But a lot of the modular stuff's going to go up in price because it's old and never going to get reprinted. Yeah. Then another weird one. Ruka Ramel Biologist from Commander Masters. Human Wizard 3/3. She's Woobug. When she enters, choose a creature type. Slivers you control and non-token creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to their other creature types. The same is true for creature spells you control, and creature cards you own are on the battlefield. 3 and tap, create a 1/1 colorless sliver creature token. I really want to make a Mercenaries deck because one of my first precons was can't remember the set. Really old mono black Mercenaries deck, and Mercenaries all have abilities where they tap to go and get a mercenary, like to tutor mercenaries. So I really want to use my old mercenary cards in a deck, and this is the one thing that kind of jumped out at me. If not the mercenaries, something I just feel like you've got so much scope with this deck to just pick a creature type and do weird stuff with it potentially because you've got access to all the colors. A lot of people do allies, but I want to do something unusual.
It's because allies tick up, right? And the mercenaries tick down. Yeah, so that's why.
Allies do the tutor thing as well, don't they?
Yeah. Allies tutor up, and then mercenaries tutor down.
But yeah, it's just like a open book, closed book. What's the one? It's a open blank book. Check. Do what you want.
Blank slate.
Blank slate. That's it. Yeah, and I like finding weird stuff. So maybe I'll find something else weird to do. Got me thinking now. Don't need to be thinking. Anyway, the last one is this is a real weird one. Amareth the Lustrous from Commander Legends. 3 green, white, blue for a dragon. 6/6 flying. Whenever another permanent you control enters, look at the top card of your library. If it shares a card type with that permanent, you may reveal that card and put it into your hand. So I do this thing where I find a card that I like, and then I look on EDH Rec to try and find commanders that play it. There's like a whole load of enchantments that become creatures when something happens.
Yes, yeah.
So like when someone plays a creature, it becomes a creature. I think there's one person on EDH Rec that's built this as all of those enchantments.
Okay.
And because of that ability, you can potentially draw into extra ones when you play them.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Also, those 3 colors are the only 3 that those card types are in.
There's a red one. There's red ones.
Is there a red one?
Yeah.
Maybe they're not very good. I think most of them are in those 3 colors. And out of all the commanders viable for it, this is, from what I could tell, the best one. It's rough out there to try and build that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird deck that probably won't do anything, but it's just one of those ones where every card you play is utter nonsense and nobody's heard of. And hopefully people just leave me alone, and then I'll sneak in a win with a monkey cage or something at the end. But yeah, that's honestly a lot of the decks I'm on my to-do list are Final Fantasy, and that's brand new.
That's fair.
I've got like 4 or 5 different cards from that I'm kind of umming and ahhing about, but yeah, that's some old ones.
I think it's quite fortuitous that you mentioned Mercenaries, which was there's Mercadian Masks.
That's the one, Mercadian Masks.
Because moving over to the Sicko Zone Hall of Fame, I have a Mercadian Masks card.
I actually love that set. It's so cool.
We did not plan this, I promise. So, moving over to the Sicko Zone Hall of Fame, your home for the wettest, wildest, silliest, dankest Magic the Gathering cards. It was my week. I'm going to be honest. I'm phoning it in. I opened up a box of Mystery Booster 2, saw this guy and went, huh. So I'm putting Cackling Witch. Cackling Witch is a 1/1 for 1 in the black. It's a human spell shaper. X black. Discard a card. Target creature gets +X/+O until end of turn. The ability is fine. We need to talk about this art.
So I actually opened this in the booster pack that I got alongside that Mercenaries deck. So I'm very aware of this card. There's a lot going on there.
It's very uncomfortable to look at. He's in some sort of cave. He has an eyeball on his ring. There's too much detail on his face. I don't think you can see it really here. There's just like wrinkles and stuff around his eyes, and it's too realistic, and it makes me deeply uncomfortable.
I like his little soul patch though, his little chin.
Oh, I just don't like any of it. It's just makes me sad. So I'm very aware this does not rate high.
It's getting rough now. It's getting tough to
it is getting
place,
tough.
You know?
This is actually quite low. This is. I'm going to make the executive decision and put it above Imaginary Pet.
Oh wow!
So
I'm going to have to come in with a real banger next week.
Yeah, we're not doing it at the moment. I'm going to be honest. I am phoning it in slightly, but that's fine. We've got stuff going on. All right. Yeah. So yeah, this for me was just art. I saw it and was like, oh, this guy's weird looking. It should probably be on the list. I don't think it ranks very high, but I want to get him in there.
I think he does need to be on a list.
He's and away from schools. So Cackling Witch is our new number 37 of the Magic Castles. Wow, Jesus, Magic Castle Sicko Zone Hall of Fame. You can tell it is late in the day. I think this list is public. I think we shared it somewhere. We should probably do that and make it view only. But yeah, Illusionary Mask is obviously number 1. Camouflage for 30th anniversary, number 2. Amulet Quaz, number 3. Elvish Bard Alliances are number 4. And Amnesia Nut is number 5. Did you know only 35% of you are subscribed? That's fucked up. Makes me sad.
Disgusting. I mean, makes me real sad.
You're probably viewing this because it's been served to you in your recommended or your homepage. Chances are you're not subscribed and you're just playing into the algorithm. Don't do that. Seize control. Be your own person. Don't listen to YouTube. Apart from when it does recommend our videos, then you should watch them.
Yeah.
So please drop us a like and subscribe and a comment. Let us know what old commanders you're thinking of building.
Yeah.
We can have a discussion in the comments below.
Give me more commanders to build.
Give Tom weirdos to build and we will build them. Tom, where can people find you?
On the internet, Overfiend with an X. Just search it. Yeah.
You can find the channel socials in the description below. We're basically Magic Castles everywhere.
Yeah.
Apart from Instagram, where we're still Magic Castles Pod because Meta sucks, and there's a psychedelic rock band in California called the Magic Castles, and they won't relinquish the name. I've been Adam GCB. This has been episode 33 of the Magic Castles podcast. We will catch you later.